Okay, listen. All right, listen. I just had a lot of games to play. I finally beat Neo the World Ends With You. I got both secret endings. And I'm telling you right now, yo, the World Ends With You needs to come back to Kingdom Hearts. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy HMK once again, and as we're heading into the hype and the hope of Phase 2 of Kingdom Hearts, Quadrantum, Kingdom Hearts 4, all that good jazz, we have to ask the question, ever since Dream Drop Distance, when Nomura decided to put the World Ends With You characters in the game, we got Neku, Shiki, Beat, Rhyme, and of course Joshua. We could use some more characters, some more integrations within that of Unreality, especially after Neo the World Ends With You. Now, of course, there is the argument of stuff when it comes to Shibuya Quadratum. Nomura's already confirmed that this Shibuya is not the same Shibuya from The World Ends With You. And if you actually played the games, then you would know why. Because, you know, with the Reapers game, what happened with A New Day, Another Day, when it comes to the first one, the second one, Final Remix, and the whole deal with Shinjuku. Spoilers up ahead if you haven't played the game, so please play the game. So if you haven't played them, then spoilers. Yeah, Shinjuku gets erased, right? And of course, it is hinted at the end of Neo the World Ends With You that Shinjuku is going to get rebuilt by the Shinjuku Reapers. But is that going to happen, you know, soon? Now, how fast, how slow is that going to happen or whatever? Because it's wiped off the face of the earth or whatever. And in Quadratum, we have Shinjuku, right? So of course, that is a big confirmation that these are two different aspects, two versions of Shibuya, Shinjuku, modern day Tokyo, Japan. Now, that doesn't mean they still can't show up. You know, they've been to another Shibuya before when it comes to UG, RG, all that good jazz. And I need these characters to show up in Kingdom Hearts 4, the next Kingdom Hearts game. I need Sora to come into contact with Nagi, Fred, most importantly, my man, Rindo. Please. Yo, Paul Castro Jr., I know that you've been recording. And seeing these two characters come together, I would like for the story to, you know, address the events after Neo the World Ends With You, especially since, you know, how we got those endings or whatever. And I would love to see Sora and Rindu, you know, connect and comfort each other from both of their own experiences when meddling with time travel, and resetting time. Because if you played Neo the World Ends With You, you find out that Rindo goes back in time, he does the replayability, but then you find out why that was a big deal towards the end of the game. And of course, we all know in Kingdom Hearts, with Sora literally resetting the timeline, resetting the universe by using the Power of Awakening to go back in time and change the outcome of what happened in the Keyblade Graveyard. Both of them had to pay a terrible price. Literally, and then that's the crazy thing, both of them literally saw their friends die in front of them multiple times. Well, I mean, Sora, like, multiple times, you can say it's multiple times, or whatever, but they saw it, and they could connect, and they can grow to know one another in the future of Kingdom Hearts 4 at Quadratum, all that good jazz. And I would love to see them, like, you know, just bring all the Square properties within that of, you know, Shibuya, Shinjuku. And that's, I've said previously that I would love to see a new interpretation of Avalanche. You know, this is where Cloud and Sephiroth went after Kingdom Hearts 2. They went to Quadram, the world of Unreality. And Tifa was able to follow Cloud there, and Barrett was always here in Quadratum. And I would love to see an interpretation of Kingdom Hearts Avalanche, right? Where Sora, Cloud, Tifa, and Barrett are going around finding manufacture plants of Gigases and blowing them up, kind of like, you know, Mako reactors in Final Fantasy VII. I would love that. So, you know, bring all these Square Enix properties, especially if they had the Nomura touch, into this game. The World Ends With You. That'd be great. And, you know, since the Reapers game kind of changed from, like, the whole, like, timer thing from the first game into the week thing. I mean, of course, the week thing was always in the World Ends With You games, but they didn't have the timer in the second game, right? So there's not really a sense of urgency if Sora were to come into contact with these characters. And, of course, at the same time, Sora reuniting with Neku. Like, come on. That'll be great. Like, see you in Shibuya. But then Sora's like, whoa, Neku, like, what happened? What happened? Whoa. Like, cause I mean, like 3 years passed between the events of the first and second The World Ends With You. I'm sorry, I have to say like Twewy or something like that because that name is a mouthful. So come into contact with, you know, older Neku, older Beat, older Rhyme, and then, you know, actually seeing what Shiki actually looks like, and then older Joshua. Joshua. And then Haas. Haven't you noticed, if you played the game, tell me I'm wrong. Haven't you noticed that the art for Haas is like a lot? I mean, Nomura is the lead character designer of this game, but it's a lot more Nomura like in terms of like how he's drawn, right? And I'm like, okay, there's something amuck. There's something amiss with this character, right? And he's still very mysterious. I mean, thanks to the secret reports and the secret ending spoilers, you know, Haas turns out to be the composer for Shinjuku, just like how Joshua is the composer for Shibuya, right? And I would love to see how this character could possibly interact with Sora, especially given that they're from a higher plane of existence and now we're dealing with Kingdom Hearts, like different planes of reality or whatever. And, you know, Joshua was the homie in Dream Drop Distance and was able to help, you know, Sora and Riku communicate a little bit between the two versions of Traverse Town. So, I mean, that would be a good way to, like, bro, can you imagine, like, Haas being the one to, like, give messages from Sora over to Kairi or Riku, but Riku's coming to Quadratum, but Riku could get smacked and then sent back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. And Haas could be the one, like, to communicate. Like, a lot of people's like, yo, how is Sora able to, like, you know, how would we be able to communicate with Donald, Goofy, all that good jazz or whatever? Or how would Riku be able to relay information about Quadratum and Yozora to all of our homies back home? And, like, Haas. Or Joshua. Like, Joshua was cool, but Haas. Like, you know, that would be... Nomura, please, just do it. Just do it. Right? Like, how we'll be able to, like, bro, what if Haas is the one that was, dude, no, Dream Maker's gonna make you mad. Can you imagine if Haas is able to plant dreams into those that sleep in reality and grant them visions from unreality in order to give them information? Or Joshua, I'm just so focused on Haas, man. Please. And then, you know, I would love to see how, you know, Sora grows a little bit more I would love to see Sora grow more as a character when coming into contact with Rindo, especially when it comes to their own individual experiences or whatever. And like Sora could have that next phase of maturity or whatnot, knowing the consequences of his actions, because he's never really dealt with that. Like, I mean, he has in like small aspects, but now since Kingdom Hearts 3, it's like, yo, when will you learn that your actions have consequences, right? And learning that through Rindo's experiences will be good. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to be asking in the comment section. We obviously didn't get this character in the first instance of the ones you coming into Kingdom Hearts, you know, Dream Drop Distance. We didn't get Sho, right? We didn't get Minamoto. We didn't get Mina Man. We didn't get Minimoto, because, I mean, he was still a villain at that point. And, like... villain at that point, and then he didn't really get thrown around as possibly being anything other than an antagonist until Final Remix, Soul Remix, all that good jazz, and now he was playable in The World Ends With You, so he's a lot more important in that right. So I would love to see him if he shows up here, but if he doesn't, I won't get mad. For me, it's a priority to have Rindo, Fret, and Nagi, and Neku, and Beat, and Rhyme, and Shiki, and Joshua, and Haas, and, you know, whatever. Throw him in. Throw Minamoto, yeah, my Mina Man. Yeah, Mina Man, yeah. But honestly, I think these would be cool ways to integrate the world. I mean, because we've seen it before. It's not out of the realm of possibility. Now, the question that we have to ask ourselves, because Nomura hasn't really, like, dealt with that aspect, is that when they were presenting the World Ends With You characters in Dream Drop Distance, it wasn't really like how Kingdom Hearts presents the Final Fantasy characters, because the Final Fantasy characters in Kingdom Hearts are different interpretations based on the original characters in Kingdom Hearts, right? Like, basically, Cloud is not the same Cloud from Final Fantasy VII as he is in Kingdom Hearts. It's a new version based on the character of Cloud from Final Fantasy VII, because Cloud is from... what do you call him? Radiant Guardian, right? He's not from Midgar. You know, Tidus is from Destiny Islands. He's not from Final Fantasy. Like, he's not from Final Fantasy X. He's based on the character from Final Fantasy X. You get that, but in the case of point with Neku and the rest of them, they're from Shibuya. They're playing the Reaper's game. So, but if you ever played Neo the World Ends With You, they don't really reference Sora or anything like that in the game. It's not like, oh, Neku's all like, oh yeah, I remember Sora? Like, they don't do that. So I'm like, okay, where's the canon? I want to feel that it's, once again, interpretations of the character, stronger interpretation versions of the characters in Kingdom Hearts, but are not exactly the same characters that we see in The World Ends With You. But we'll have to wait for Nomura to give us clarification. But all in all, throw them into the mix. The final remix. Let's get it. The World Ends With You, Kingdom Hearts 4. Come on, Nomura, let's make it happen. Can you imagine that trailer, if we actually get a trailer within the 20th anniversary event, where it shows Zora, Cloud, Neku, Rindo, just everybody just in the mix, and you're like, please, let's get that hype. All right. So if you're down for that, be sure to like, share, and most probably subscribe to HMK for more Kingdom Hearts content going into the 20th anniversary and beyond. And I hope you enjoyed this video. So until the next one, this has been HMK, and I'll check you guys later.
So you haven't subscribed to HMK yet? Don't piss Xemnas off.